Is part of your property too tough to mow? Or do you need a new driveway or must fix your old one? Ask Manchester Brick Materials for a quote today. Plus for topsoil, erosion stone, riprap, and stay mat. Plus crushed stone products from 3/4 inch plant mix up to 5 inches, Manchester Brick Materials will deliver or load it for you. 6:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. to 12 noon Saturdays, or by appointment. We will rock you with competitive pricing and estimates. Call 802-633-4122.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer with highs in the mid to upper 30s, winds becoming south at around 5 miles an hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, lows from the mid-teens to around 20. And for Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, again warmer with highs in the low to mid-40s, south winds 5 to 10. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And there you have it at 7 minutes after 6, and we're below zero here in the listening area, but we do have some warmer temperatures in the forecast coming up. If you looked at the extended forecast for the listening area, it looks like warm temps are heading into the month of March. Stephen, John, and friends, we take you to 9 o'clock this morning. A lot of different conversations that we'll be having, and we have 2 or 3 this hour and plenty in the 7 and 8 o'clock hour this morning. So we hope you can stay with us for the duration for the next 3 hours and more. Next weather will be coming up in about 10 minutes, and a conversation that Joshua Smith had recently with Rivendell Academy. We'll be listening to that conversation in just a few minutes. It is time to take a look at the latest weather for all of Northeast Vermont, Northwest New Hampshire, being brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet. Be sure to stop in. They are now part of the Autosaver Group, and, of course, that is a really big deal. And that, of course, comes at no charge with the purchase or lease of every new or used vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Grace from the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet. There's no secrets this month. Right now, you can get a total savings of up to $9,000 off on a 2026 Chevy Silverado, 1500 four-wheel drive, crew cab, trail boss. Wells River Chevrolet is home of the big deal. Don't wait, stop in today or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Stock number WT26111. Must trade a 2012 or newer Chevrolet car, truck, or SUV to qualify. Subject to change. Not available with all offers through March 2nd, 2026.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer with highs in the mid to upper 30s, winds becoming south at around 5 miles an hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, lows from the mid-teens to around 20. And for Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, again warmer with highs in the low to mid-40s, south winds 5 to 10. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, thank you, Lawrence. And don't forget, we'll be chatting live with the Fairbanks Museum shortly after 7:30 this morning, right after birthdays and anniversaries. Meanwhile, this look at the weather brought to you by Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group. Same great people, same great experience, and now the Big Deal Plus. They are on the web at wellsriverchevy.com. We're well below zero, but we'll be warming up today. Updated weather, we check about every 10 minutes. So next weather coming up in about 10 minutes, shortly at about 6:30. Right after the weather, we'll be taking a break and chatting with Paul Ordway, PTO's Repair and Fairly, find out what's going on in the world of Fisher Plows and Fisher Sanders.
Hi, it's Chelsea from Wise, and this is our 10th year producing Wise Words. Today, Lydia, a senior from Lebanon High School, is sharing Wise Words.
We know that consent is not hard or confusing. You just have to ask. But consent is more than asking just one question. For us to give consent, we need more information, like knowing how old the other person is, what we're agreeing to do, and what we don't want to do. Maybe we want to know whether we're exclusive or seeing other people, and what precautions we want to feel safe. We get to decide for ourselves what information we need to make an informed choice. And we get to stop whenever things aren't feeling right. We all deserve partners who listen to us, don't pressure us into things that make us feel uncomfortable, and stop when things aren't okay. What do you need to feel ready to say yes?
These Wise Words are supported by the Hypertherm Hope Foundation, a proud sponsor of Wise and our goal to end violence, share hope, and change lives. To learn more, please visit our website, wiseuv.org.
So we're honored to have a conversation with Shoshona Lieberman, who is the music and performing arts teacher here at Rivendell Academy. Shoshona, how you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm doing well. What makes the music program at Rivendell unique for students?
Well, honestly, I think what makes the music program at Rivendell unique is actually the community around it. This is the first school that I've worked at where before I even started, people were coming up to me from the community, parents, community members, students. What's the new show? What's the fall show going to be? What's the choir going to be singing? I loved when they did this last year. When do we get to hear that? And so the students, they have this sense of purpose and belonging. And then it's my job to make sure that I am facilitating the opportunities that they earned just because they already care. And that's pretty special in a middle high school.
So how do you encourage students who have never considered themselves musical?
Well, one thing that I like to do is I like to offer experiences that are music and performing arts adjacent, that don't feel confrontational in terms of, okay, now you must sing. Because singing is very personal and it's scary, especially if an adult goes, now you have to do this. But we do a lot of, something I believe in strongly is using digital audio workstations, which are ways to make your computer make music for you. And I find that it's an easier way to start because you're not personally making the music, and yet kids get very creative. I get students into acting because we start with stage combat, and acting isn't cool, but swords are cool. But okay, well now we've got the swords, let's make a story around the swords. Like, why are you fighting with the swords? Okay, well we might as well add some text and let it grow from there. Let students discover their creativity and then add the stuff that feels really music-y.
That's interesting. And so how does music help students academically or socially?
Well, I mean, there are many ways that this happens. I would like to talk about the academic one first, which is that the parts of the brain necessary for music are very similar to are the same parts of the brain as we use for verbal and communication skills and for mathematical and sometimes even spatial and temporal awareness skills. So especially when we're working in choir or in band and students need to keep time and translate numbers or symbols on a page into a sound and know when to do things and how to do things. And then if you get to the more advanced stuff, learning to sight read or learning to notate music, that is literally practicing the same parts of the brain that they would use for writing an English paper or calculating a fraction. But then socially, and this is again part of that, just using the same parts of the brain, the most difficult thing that we do, I would like to say in choir, but also possibly ever, is to do your own best work while being perfectly in sync, not just time-wise and volume-wise, but intention-wise, with a group of other people who are also doing their own best work and following a script that somebody else wrote, but performing it as if you mean it personally, which is what I ask the choir to do. I ask them, you must do what's on the page, and you must do it in the timing that I give you, but you must do it with your own personal best voice in a way that melds with everybody else's voice, and in a way that feels both personally meaningful and meaningful in a way that communicates to your audience. It's hard. It's hard, and I'm asking 7th graders to do it. But if you can do that, if you can be yourself 100% and be paying attention to everyone else and making compromises to be with them 100%, that's being part of society, isn't it?
Well, what's a moment in class or rehearsal that reminds you of why music education matters?
Oh, that is a really good question, and honestly a really difficult one. I believe strongly in students reflecting on their work, on how they connect to the music. and all of those things. So I make my choir students especially, but also creative studio students and other classes, I make them write reflections. And earlier this trimester, one of those reflections was write 3 examples of a time that you felt you were being a good musician or a good singer. And one student wrote about last year's field trip to Dartmouth Hospital and wrote about the effect that the choir's singing had on this mother-daughter pair that were just there. And I was like, yeah, this kid got to experience having done something emotionally beautiful for somebody else and processed that. And that's really lovely and special. And that's what I want students to know that music can be.
So we're talking to Shoshona Lieberman, who is the music and performing arts teacher here at Rivendell Academy. Shoshona, this has been an amazing conversation. Do you have any final comments?
What I would like to say is I am so impressed and excited by the students we have here at Rivendell Academy. And so I really hope that they're about to put on a show. We just cast Oliver the musical with over 20 students who all came out and auditioned and are ready to put on a show. So I'm just hoping that people come and see them in May, because they're going to be fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Shoshona. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Post Malone along with Luke Combs here at Your Country, WYKR. About 28 minutes after, we'll be chatting with Paul Ordway shortly from PTO's Repair right there in Fairleigh, brand new location. Right now, though, take another break. Check out the forecast at about 28 minutes after 6. Temperatures that are below 0 as we speak. We'll be warming up a bit today, though. And in the extended forecast, looks like some warmer temps as well. So we'll talk in more detail in regards to the weather as we head it during the month of February. I'm sure that Mark will have a few statistics for us in about an hour. And then maybe he'll look ahead and tell us what maybe we can expect with those warmer temperatures next week. Right now, though, as we take a look at the weather, it's being brought to you by St. Johnsbury CDJR. They are located at 200 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury. They're online at stjohnsburycdjr.com.
St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the go-to destination for quality vehicles and unbeatable deals. Whether it's a rugged Ram truck, an adventure-ready Jeep, or a reliable pre-owned vehicle, they have something for every driver. Their experienced team offers competitive financing, trade-in options, and lease specials to make car buying easy. Plus, their expert service center ensures every vehicle stays in peak condition with genuine parts and professional maintenance. Conveniently located at 220 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury, they proudly serve Northeast Vermont and beyond with top-tier customer service. Shoppers can browse their extensive inventory in person or online at stjohnsburycdjr.com. Whether hitting the road for work, adventure, or the next big game, drivers can count on St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram to get them there.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer with highs in the mid to upper 30s, winds becoming south at around 5 miles an hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, lows from the mid-teens to around 20. And for Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, again warmer with highs in the low to mid-40s, south winds 5 to 10. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, thank you. It is 6:30 and temps that are, 5-6 degrees below 0, but temperatures that will be warming up today. We'll have some snow melt with temps between 35 and 40, according to the Fairbanks Museum, and brought to you by St. Johnsbury CDJR. They're online at stjohnsburycdjr.com and located at 200 Memorial Drive in St. Johnsbury, your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. It is 6:32. We take a few minutes every Friday at about 6:30 to chat with Paul Ordway, PTO's Repair, right there in Fairleigh, 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh. Morning, Paul.
Good morning, Steve and John. How are we doing today?
We're doing okay. All right. The local Fisher authorized dealer. Fisher plows, Fisher sanders, long time. So what's happening with the deal this week? What's going on with the people who are out there doing the plowing and the sanding anyway?
Well, they've been busy for sure. Yeah. We all have, and we're busy this week doing some repairs and stuff for some plows and sanders. Had a guy the other day, sander broke down, and they came over from South Royalton, and we got them fixed up and going again.
Yeah. That's an easy drive, basically. What, down 89, pick up 91 north, and then exit, what do you exit, 15?
15, yep. Okay. Get on 15, and then we're 2.3 miles north of Fairleigh, and right there, pretty convenient. And he came over, and we put some parts to the sander and got him going again.
Awesome. So, we talk a lot about the sanders and the plows. What about the pickup trucks? What kind of abuse do they...
They are getting used and abused this year.
Are they?
Well, yeah, it's hard. We've had a lot of snow. They're trying to push banks back with them, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That's not what they're for, but if you go easy and start on one edge of a bank, you can work your way across. But you got to be careful. You can get yourself stuck or something, or do damage to the CV shafts or something. You got to be careful. They're not bulldozers. They're not bucket loaders. Just the trucks.
Yeah.
And a snow plow on the front.
So you think it would help with the wing that you're kind of talking about for these smaller pickups to do that type of stuff?
It wouldn't hurt, but or get a bucket loader and move stuff back.
do it right?
Yeah. It'd be better.
Yeah. So the vehicle itself, the pickup, for most cases, they take pretty good abuse then, don't they?
They do. It's hard, and people don't understand that, you got 1,200-pound plow out there carrying around, pushing snow. This time of year you're trying to push some things back because we've had so much, but, get a bucket loader or something and push snow back with that. And don't abuse your truck.
Yeah. Well, we're heading into March. We're on the lookout for spring. That's for sure. As we're less than a month away, I guess, from the first day of spring on the calendar. Anyway.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm ready.
I think a lot of people are at this point.
It's been a long winter. All these little snowstorms, and we had a few big ones. It's been a toll on people. It's hard.
Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they were saying some people have had such buildup of ice on their roofs, they've even put some salt on it to help melt ice.
Well, yeah, I was out doing that last night, pulling the snow back off the roof on the edge here. We've got quite a bit on a couple of roofs, quite a bit of ice. The gutters,
Yeah.
They're taking quite a strain right now. So.
Yeah, they are. Some roofs, I guess, have leaked. I've even heard of a few small buildings collapsing a little bit because of the weight.
Yeah. No, I went out last night and pulled some off the edges because we're supposed to get warmed up, and I'm hoping that will knock it off and send it down the ground. But we'll see.
Yeah, you get it off the edges, and it helps it melt. Helps it kind of pull back from the edges, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, get the snow off so the sun rays can actually hit the ice, and it'll open it up. It should.
Yeah. Well, out there looking at a lot of the trees haven't even been tapped yet, but I guess some warmer temps next week, maybe that'll start getting the sugar makers out there going.
Yeah, they're going to have to get going for sure. I wouldn't be surprised this weekend they'll be out there, a bunch of them getting started.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's that time. You got to get ready.
Well, definitely, as you know, being in the plow business for a long, long time, every year's different, isn't it?
Oh, sure is. You never know what Mother Nature's going to bring you.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's something.
So you are the local Fisher authorized dealer, Fisher plows, Fisher sanders. Anything new that you're hearing for 2026 or beyond?
Not yet.
No.
It's been pretty quiet. And I've sent some emails up to a couple of guys I know up there and asking what's going on. A couple of engineer-type guys that help build some stuff. And they're not talking, so I'm sure they can't. But I keep pecking away on what I want and what I think they should do. And we'll keep after them, and nothing new on the world yet. So
yeah, well, you've been
we'll let you know.
You've been doing this a long time, out on the road, doing this stuff for the state of Vermont. Now, with the Fisher Plows here locally for over 20 years, you would think they'd listen to you guys out there.
Yeah, well, sometimes they listen, and that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
But they don't take it in. And we're out here, we're doing this, we're seeing the problems with, I won't say their product, but how they built some stuff and how they're doing stuff. And we've tried to put some input in, but I don't know. We're trying.
Well, it sounds like you only want to make it better.
I'm trying. Just think that would be something that we could sell as this one-way plow that's power angled, and I just don't know what the holdup is.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a couple of companies left that make it, so we could get in there and get in the market and sell to local towns and municipalities and stuff.
Mm.
So hoping that will be good, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
All in time.
I haven't given up.
Well, it probably about the time you retire, Paul, they'll come out with it.
Yeah, maybe they'll name it after me or something.
Okay, why not? Call it the PTO. It might be all right. All right.
Yeah.
So you're open today and tomorrow morning?
Yes, we're during the week. We're 8 to 5, and Saturday. Most Saturdays I'm there 8 to noon. And looks like I will be tomorrow. I got some work, busy day today, and got some work maybe left over for tomorrow. But we'll take care of that. And,
Sure.
And we'll get Sunday off hopefully, and we'll get ready for another week.
Yep. So roughly 3.5 miles south of the traffic light right there in Bradford. You'll find them at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh.
Yeah, and I just guess there was a crash the other day on the interstate. Somebody ran into a state truck, and you got to stay back. You got to pay attention. I don't know what happened. Sometimes the snow has been really dry and it's flying, but you got to stay back. You got to pay attention to what road, what lane is cleaned off, where the snow might be coming from. I don't know the details of this, but man, don't crowd the plow. Stay back and be alert of what's going on ahead of you.
Yeah. It can happen in a hurry, can it?
It sure can. It's a big orange truck, but I don't know if the snow was blowing away from the truck or, off the plow, and there was dust and he didn't see, but that should have been telling you something's ahead of you, and, pay attention, and it could be really bad.
Yeah. All right. That's good words of advice right there, Paul. So let's see.
Everybody be safe. I think we're good this weekend. I don't see any snow in the forecast. I didn't hear everything, but just be careful out there, whether it's a state truck, town truck, don't crowd the plow. And when you're traveling through towns and stuff and you see some lights and people plowing house driveways or something, give them some space, be careful, and make sure they can see you.
Yeah, good words of advice from Paul down there at PTO's Repair. All right, enjoy the weekend. We'll chat with you next Friday. We'll be heading into March.
All right. All right, everybody, travel safe, be good, enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Paul.
All right.
Yep. Paul Ordway and his wife Kim at PTO's Repair right there in Fairleigh. And as we said, about 3.5 miles south of the traffic light in Bradford. Let's take another look at the weather forecast, as that's on our mind, chatting with Paul with the Fisher Plows and Fisher Sanders. This time around, it's being brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation, and they have the big equipment to be able to move some snow if you need that taken care of in your parking lot or driveway. You can give Chief a call at 802-584-3868.
Chief Crushing and Excavation, with plenty of products available that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby Vermont or New Hampshire locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fill, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Excavation and land clearing services are also available. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has the knowledge, know-how, and equipment to get the job done right for you. For quarry operating hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer with highs in the mid to upper 30s, winds becoming south at around 5 miles an hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, lows from the mid-teens to around 20. And for Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, again warmer with highs in the low to mid 40s, south winds 5 to 10. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And this time around, brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation. They've got the big equipment to move snow and dirt and haul it around. All you have to do is call Chief, and they got the big equipment and the little equipment to take care of your needs at 802-584-3868. Coming up in a few minutes, conversation that Joshua Smith had with Batchelder Carpentry.
One of my favorite things to do here is talking to Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer at vtcarpenter.com, Batchelder Carpentry. How you guys doing?
We're doing
Pretty
great.
good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
So, you look out the window and you realize that next week is going to be March.
Yes.
That's right. Spring is just about here.
It's just about here. And it was a good, so I know Steve, that you pop in once in a while and we talk about snowmobiles.
That's right.
But you are, you had a good snowmobile season too.
Yeah. It was great.
And so how do you get time to do with all of your work at Batchelder Carpentry? So how many minutes do you get to actually spend on a snowmobile?
Not as much as I'd like.
And yeah, speaking about Batchelder Carpentry, people should be reaching out to you now for getting spring and summer projects.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how would you say too is like how much of your work do you usually get that's like small in between jobs in between your large projects?
We get a fair amount of those,
Yeah.
and we actually like those too because
Yeah.
it's
Splits it up.
nice. Split it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you were on last time you were on a couple of weeks ago, you're talking about snow retentions, and this has been a banner year of snow. We haven't seen this much snow there. Have you been getting a lot of calls about the snow retention systems?
We've got a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going well.
It's going well.
Yeah.
And so remind people too about Batchelder Carpentry. What do you mostly work on?
So we do a little bit of everything, pretty
Yeah.
much, except for roofing.
Yes.
We do drywall, we do framing, we do interior trim, exterior trim, windows, doors, installs, repairs. We do siding. We
do finish work. We do
flooring, baseboards, window, everything.
Everything. And you have a lot of licenses and a lot of trainings too, because you're also on a little bit talking about lead. What was
Yes.
lead safety issues?
So our RPM is renovating, repair, and painting.
Okay.
And then we have the IRC, which is inspection, cleaning, and repair.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, we can come check out your projects and help you do some repairs and remodels, and we can take care of that.
And so tax refund checks are imminently arriving. Should people reach out to you now
Yes,
to
definitely.
schedule something,
Yes.
even though they don't have their check and they're not quite sure what it's going to look like, but they should probably reach out to you now if they know they're going to have a project done.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the best way to do that would be going to vtcarpenter.com.
Yes. Or giving us a call at 802-793-3071.
You guys know, yeah, it's all email now, see? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, spring's coming. It's here. It's knocking at the door. Reach out now for all your spring, summer projects. I'm anticipating things are gonna fill up fast, especially with people getting their refunds back, like you'd mentioned.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so our listeners out there, don't sit on this. Don't wait until you get your refund check. Call Batchelder Carpentry now and schedule for them to come in, give you a quote, check it out. And one of the things that we always get great feedback on about Batchelder Carpentry is that you work for the client. You don't basically tell them what they need to do. They tell you what they want, and then you fit within their budget as well.
Yeah, we try to work within people's budget. We do value engineering, trying to find items that fit within your budget that are similar or comparable to
Right. And what makes Batchelder Carpentry stand out compared to other contractors is that you work with multiple different sources.
Yeah,
Sellers.
supply houses or lumber yards or, yes, we work with lots of them.
Right.
Yep.
And remind people too, so we're talking to Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer of Batchelder Carpentry. You can find them at vtcarpenter.com. And what do you see most kind of happening in the springtime then as projects go?
A lot of times in the spring, you'll have a lot of customers reaching out about repairs from the winter.
Okay.
Ice broke the siding. Ice broke the shutter. Ice
Took off clapboards.
came off the roof.
And pushed the skirting in the house. It's a wide variety.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So mostly what you see like in the springtime is repair stuff, but then in the summertime you see more like construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then, people want the new builds, additions. Windows and doors is another popular thing in the summer.
Yeah, remodels.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Remodels is a big one. Late spring, early summer, because people could stay at their camper. They could go to their camp if they have one somewhere. And then we just have free run of the house or that section of the house that we're remodeling. They're not trying to be there making breakfast and using the shower while you're redoing the bathroom, stuff like that.
Well, and also too in spring, like in the wintertime, people are huddled in their homes. Yeah. They're in there, they're pacing around. They can't do much unless they snowmobile, obviously, and or ski.
Yeah.
But then they're like, once that tax refund check, honey, I want these cabinets to be changed, or we have to definitely get a new bathroom, and they're looking at this stuff, they're pacing, they can't wait. And then what happens is that they wait too long and they call Batchelder Carpentry and use it. Well, we'll try to squeeze you in, but you should have called us
if you wait till the end of May. I mean, there's a good chance that we're already booked through July, and in the beginning of August usually.
Yeah, so a minimum usually a couple months booked out.
But sometimes during that busy season, we can still fit in a couple small projects. The smaller fix-it things. Just because sometimes we're waiting for electricians or plumbers or stuff like that. Yep.
Right. Excellent. Any final comments or?
Just a reminder, spring's coming, and reach out to us today at vtcarpenter.com.
Yeah.
Right, man. I always have a great time when you guys come in. This is fun.
Yeah, absolutely is.
All right.
It is fun.
Yeah, so Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer from Batchelder Carpentry at vtcarpenter.com. Give them a call. Don't sit on it. Give them a call today, and they will be happy to put you on the schedule.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks.
In Bradford, Farmway invites you to shop their in-stock Lazy Boy furniture. Farmway has plenty of styles and colors to choose from, something to fit everybody, including pet-friendly fabrics. Check the prices. You won't be disappointed. Shop in a friendly, no-pressure atmosphere. And if you don't see it, Farmway can order it. Delivery and removal is available. Just ask about the rates. At Farmway, they take immense pride in offering a wide selection of top-quality brands in footwear, clothing, camping, and hunting gear, furniture, and gifts. Shop locally in Bradford at Farmway.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer with highs in the mid to upper 30s, winds becoming south at around 5 miles an hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, lows from the mid-teens to around 20. And for Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, again warmer with highs in the low to mid-40s, south winds 5 to 10. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, thank you. It's 6:56, clear blue, sunny skies, 5-6 degrees below zero, but heading to the mid and upper 30s today. And that's the news at 4 minutes after 7. We're into clear blue, sunny skies, and it is chilly. And there has been some ice out there. With the thawing temperatures that we had yesterday, we do have some black ice in a lot of places, so be careful whether you're walking or traveling. And warmer temps are in the forecast for today and in the future. We'll have more details on that when we chat with Mark shortly after 7:30 this morning, right after the birthdays and the anniversaries. Right now, though, let's take a look at that weather forecast. A cold morning, but warming up into the mid and upper 30s. It's being brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the big deal.
Hi, Kevin here at Crosstown Motors. We're celebrating the best deals all month long during our President's Day sales event. How about a $359 a month lease on a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited? 0 down, 39 months with 10,000 miles per year. Looking for more space? Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo X starting at just $399 per month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. If you're like me, you're asking, what about trucks? We've got a great selection of new 2026 Ram trucks with America's best full-size truck powertrain limited warranty. That's 10 years, 100,000 miles of coverage. Come see us at Crosstown Motors during our President's Day sales event for these great deals and more.
Visit crosstownmotors.net. Example stock numbers: J26009, 35,100 MSRP. J25179, 44,170 MSRP. Tax, title, registration extra. First payment due at signing. Must have current Stellantis brand lease in household. See dealer or ramtrucks.com for warranty details. Excludes RHO.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny skies, a little bit warmer with highs in the mid to upper 30s, winds becoming south at around 5 miles an hour. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, lows from the mid-teens to around 20. And for Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, again warmer with highs in the low to mid-40s, south winds 5 to 10. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you, Lawrence. We'll be having a chat with Mark Breen shortly after 7:30 this morning. Of course, right after those birthdays and anniversaries that we check for you each and every day of the year. And, of course, Mark's got some interesting statistics in regards to February and also some interesting ideas and tidbits of information about March. All that's coming up in less than a half hour. This weather brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the Big Deal. Still coming up this hour, conversation I had yesterday with Winston Oakes, the owner of Budget Lumber, Budget KB, right there in North Haverhill. And let's see, coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, about 7:45, I also had a conversation yesterday with Lauren Nelson, the owner of LC Design Concepts, now located on Route 10 in North Haverhill. So all of that's still coming up this hour at your country, WYKR. And also, shortly after 8:30 this morning, yesterday I chatted with Karen Meyers and Kuba Kubkowski from Cottage Hospital. We'll be listening to that conversation shortly after 8:30 this morning. So still a lot to come your way right here at your country.
The Celtics at the Garden tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. Not a very good team. Celtics last game, Wednesday night, a loss. Celtics don't often lose. Joe Mazzulla watched the game film.
We go back, watch the tape, and get better. And like you said, there's always those 10, 15 possessions in it. And it's two really good teams going against each other. And I thought the physicality was met. When you play that type of physicality, there's going to be possessions that you have like that. So we just get better.
Joe Mazzulla, while we're at it, how about another episode of Jaylen Brown is not happy with the NBA's whistleblowers?
We are outplaying our expectations. We compete hard on the defensive end, and they reward the other team with touch fouls. And we go down there, and guys are allowed to get away with it. I hope just somebody please pull it up. I don't care. They can find me whatever they want.
Jaylen Brown, not a fan of the NBA's officials. Celtics, Brooklyn.
It is that time for an update. We've been doing this for a long, long time. We get the bi-weekly update from the owner right there in North Haverhill under the historic water tower. Budget Lumber, you got a huge sale going on there, don't you, Winston?
We are. We're trying to get over it, but it's going to take us a little while yet.
Well, you had a huge inventory. You still got quite a few pieces in there, don't you?
Oh yeah, we're still sitting on a lot of doors.
When you were at your max with the doors and windows, how many do you think you had on board there?
We had about 5,000.
Really? Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yep. We're probably down to maybe 2,500.
Okay.
So we got a ways to go yet. So we're just gonna keep running until it runs out, and then we'll probably close the operation down. But looks like we'll be here for a little bit yet.
So Budget Lumber is going through a liquidation sale. It started in the summer of 2025. And as Winston just said, you still got quite a few things, but there's a lot of stuff that you're not going to restock at this point. Is that right?
Yeah, we're not buying in hardly anything except special orders we'll still do. You still want to buy roofing or siding or special, and we can order doors or windows. Pretty much anything, except we just won't have any stock here.
Sure.
Because we're selling out what we have, and we got a bunch of stuff still. It'll drag on a little bit till the weather gets good.
Yeah. So if you order some stuff right now with the anticipation, the snow is going to go away and spring will arrive, can you hold a few things on board for people there until the snow?
Sure.
You can. Okay.
Oh, sure. No, we can steel roofing, anything of that type, because we got a little bit more room in our building now to store some stuff inside.
Would now be a good time to order and not later then, in that regard?
I don't see any price changes, so I don't know if anybody has to get too panic about it.
Okay.
The tariffs are maybe going the other way. I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's kind of dealing with what we're going, and probably stay that way. But the economy is slowed somewhat, I think, and that has held check prices back a little bit. So steel roofing and siding and that type of thing has kind of stayed kind of level, actually.
All right, so prices have stabilized, but now's a good time to order the stuff. That way they can kind of store it there for a few weeks. Yeah.
If you had a great March coming up and had nice days, you could go right to work on a siding or roofing job.
Okay. All right, so they can stop in or give you a call. They can stop in or give you a call to find out what the deal is then. Okay.
Sure.
All right, so Budget Lumber's right there under the historic water tower in North Haverhill. So the sale started back in August of 2025, and right now you're at, what are the sale points? Okay.
Well, we're 50% right off. Anything is marked in the building.
Okay. All right.
So anything you see is at price.
Mm-hmm. If somebody stops in and let's say they want 10 doors, they can't take them right now, you can hold them on the side there?
We can hold them for a while,
sure,
until, especially if somebody came along and decided they wanted the building. So, but no, we're holding some stuff already. So.
Okay. So basically, you're down to what in regards to heavy inventory right now? Windows and doors?
Well, we do have windows and doors, but we do. I got something like some 4x4x8 turned cedar posts for porches. We got a unit of 1x6 painted pine out there that's still here. We got some fortress railings. We still got some latch decking. I got some Everlast pre-finished siding, which is a 6 1/4 inch. I got 16 squares, so it should do a whole house. And that's still here. We got some, I got a couple of 5-foot sliders. We got 2 garage doors here, 8x6'6". So there's quite a lot of stuff other than just doors, I should say.
Okay. So listeners, they want to walk through Budget Lumber. What are your hours Monday through Friday?
8 to 4.
8 to 4. Good. And if they can't get in there, give you a call.
Sure.
And find out what's going on. All right, so we'll continue to do this. As Winston just said, a lot of things that are still available, 50% plus more at discount prices. Final comments might include what today, Winston?
Get rid of the snow.
Well,
that'll change everything.
Spring and summer always comes around, doesn't it?
It goes right from winter to summer, actually.
Does. It really does. In a hurry. All right, Winston, good luck with your big sale there, your liquidation sale. We'll chat with you in a couple of weeks. We'll be into March, and that much closer to spring.
Good.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Hey, bye.
Right, bye. About 18 minutes after 7 o'clock, we'll be checking the weather again in just a few minutes. 21 minutes after 7, plenty of sunshine under clear blue sunny skies. Temps pretty chilly, though, and with the warm temperatures during the day and the sunshine that we've had, kind of making some thawing, and then overnight it freezes. That's black ice, so be careful driving and walking out there. We're below zero, but warming up in mid to upper 30s. Let's check it out. Compliments of your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment. Take a look at the weekend weather. Sales, service, parts, repairs, rental equipment. Their expert advice. Bobcat of Woodsville on the lot at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. And last summer, adding Milwaukee equipment. Stop in, check it out. They've got what you need. And now we are heading into March in a hurry. Before you know it, spring and summer will be here. They can help you move snow. They can help you move dirt. Grass, debris, leaves, you name it, they've got the equipment to help you out. If winter keeps lining up back-to-back storms, let a Toro snowblower from Woodsville Power Equipment do the heavy lifting. Toro's Power Max and Snowmaster models are designed to move serious snow fast, even at the end of your driveway where the snowplow leaves the heavy stuff. Smooth steering, bright lights, and comfortable controls help you stay in charge when the wind howls. Swing by Woodsville Power Equipment and find a Toro snowblower that fits your home and your budget.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, sunshine mixing with some clouds, not as cold. Highs in the 30s this afternoon, a light south breeze. Clearing this evening, then more clouds after midnight, lows in the 20s, upper teens in the sheltered valleys, and then tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, breezy, milder, highs 40 to 45 falling late in the day. Sunday, a little bit of light snow near 20. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, thank you, Mark. We're about 23 after 7. Mark's standing by. He'll be chatting with us via telephone right after birthdays and anniversaries, shortly after 7:30 this morning. Meanwhile, there you have it. Heading into the weekend, the updated weather. Compliments of your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment. Bobcat of Woodsville at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. Can't stop in, give them a call, 603-747-2322. They can help you out. They have the equipment and the expert advice to power you through whatever season it is. They can help you out at Woodsville Power Equipment. Coming up next, birthdays and anniversaries. We're about 6-7 minutes away from that right here. Mine, and before that, as you know, it was Kenny Chesney introducing himself there. Anyway, we're getting set to check out birthdays and anniversaries. We have a lot of them, but first, I have the menu. It's available today, the specials at Tuttle's Family Diner here in Wells River. They're serving the sweet and sour meatballs over rice, along with a side and a roll, haddock sandwich with chips and pickle, and the Montshire Farm mushroom Swiss burger with French fries or tater tots. The soup today is corn chowder, and the seafood that you can enjoy includes haddock, scallops, strip clams, and whole belly clams. Now, if you can't get in there, but you'd still like one of these specials, you can order out by calling 757-3333, Tuttle's Family Diner, right here in downtown Wells River. All right, we are at 7:30. It's time for birthdays and anniversaries. It's February 27th. It's a Friday. We're heading into March this weekend. Meanwhile, let's check out today's birthdays. We have quite a few. Winston Courier celebrates today. So does Loretta Gray. We also have a very special happy birthday to Olivia Marshall with love from all your family and friends. Derek Gilmore celebrates today. So does Caitlin Robinson, Zachary Aldrich, Albert Little, and a very happy birthday to Kayla Wirtz. Happy birthday to Kayla from Aunt Shannon and Sophia. Also to Kayla Wirtz. Happy birthday, lots of love from Mom. And a happy birthday to Kayla Wirtz. Happy birthday from your Uncle Dave. And also to Kayla Wirtz. Happy birthday from Karen and the gang of ladies. We have no anniversaries today, so we remind you to get your wishes into us. We'd like to see them a couple of days in advance. That way it gives us time to prepare for the day of your birthday or anniversary wish, brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. As we said, no anniversaries, but a lot of birthdays to pass along today, including happy birthday wishes to Kayla Wirtz. Happy birthday from Karen and the gang of ladies. And to Kayla Wirtz, happy birthday from your Uncle Dave. And to Kayla Wirtz, happy birthday. Lots of love from Mom. And also to Kayla Wirtz. Happy birthday, Kayla, from Aunt Shannon and Sophia. We also have wishes today to Albert Little, Zachary Aldrich, Caitlin Robinson, Derek Gilmore, of course, Olivia Marshall. A very happy birthday with love from all your family and friends. Loretta Gray celebrates today, and so does Winston Courier. It's a Friday. It's February 27th. We hope each and every one of you make it a great day today.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford. Mark Breen, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good to have you along here with us as we wrap up February.
Wow.
Yeah, in a hurry. Then
Yeah.
you guys look at first day of winter this weekend, right? I mean, first day of spring. Sorry
first day of
about that.
spring.
Yeah, first day of spring.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so we kind of divide the year up into 4 quarters, 4 seasons, and it's easy to do that if you just simply mark out the months accordingly. So you got December, January, February. Those are the winter months. There's certainly winter in there. In fact, one of the things that I remember when I very first got to the museum back in the early 80s, we also keep track of the winter from November to March. And if you think about, when we have winter weather, that actually makes sense in terms of calling that winter, because we certainly average plenty of snow and cold both in November and in March. So it seems kind of odd to kind of disclude them from the whole idea of how the winter has been behaving. But we do, it sort of helps us to match it with other people making comparisons, that kind of thing. And, well, it has been an interesting winter. We're obviously just another day from closing it out. So I went ahead and did the averages. It'll be certainly close within 1/10 of a degree. But one of the things that I was curious about, especially because it dropped down below zero again last night, it's like, boy, seemed like we've had a lot of below zero nights, and we have. It makes 27, but the average is 26.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's one of those, it might have seemed like we had an extraordinary amount of cold, nights and so forth, but it actually, within a day, I'd say that's essentially just an average winter that way. However, I did do the other calculations in terms of the average temperatures, not just whether it dropped below zero. And so it has been consistently cold right on through the winter. And so we end up with a winter that's about 3 degrees below normal, which is actually, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for averages, that's actually a fairly cold winter. In fact, this is the coldest winter in more than 10 years. Coldest since the winter of 2014, 2015. So,
how many numbers of years do you pull in to make the average?
Yeah, so we do 2 things with that average. So we have sort of the longer entire record of the museum, which goes back to 1894, and so that would be, really, the entire record average. But we don't use that when we're comparing, because we have something called a climate average, and that is a 30-year period. So when I'm comparing, when I say it's 3 degrees below normal, that's 3 degrees below the average for the last 30 years. I shouldn't say even the last 30 years. It's the 30-year period from about 1990 to 2020. Okay. So that 30 years. But still, it gives us a way to obviously do the comparing. And one of the other things that I found, and so again, thinking about the longer record, this is in the top 10 for coldest winters in the past 50 years.
It certainly feels it. It certainly feels it, doesn't it? All right. March is this Sunday. We're going to march into March. There's a lot of things that happen during this month, so maybe you can update us on a few things.
Yeah. So, one of the things about March is you can get just about everything. March, is certainly famous for its blizzards. We have had some tremendous snowstorms in March because it has kind of the right combination of ingredients. You need both warm and cold air to create a storm, and so you've got the strengthening sun, so there's your warmth, but we also have leftover winter cold. In fact, we're going to feel some of that leftover winter cold Sunday night into Monday when it drops down below zero. So we've got that contrast. It can make for some very powerful storms. But, you can get some spells of warm weather and some rain. We've got all of that snow and ice sitting on the rivers right now. flooding is certainly part of the character of some marches. We can have drought, like a bone-dry kind of March. We can even have summer-like 80s during the month of March. So there's a lot of things that are possible. The good news is I don't see this March as going to be one of those necessarily a wild March. Doesn't mean that it's just going to be one steady, clear sailing. Very often March does go up and down as far as that goes. In fact, one of the things that, we just talked about how consistently cold this past winter has been, I do see we may get our first true break in this persistent cold in about a week to 10 days from now.
We'll take it.
At that point, the weather pattern... Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Absolutely. So I think it's going to shift around enough so that we're going to see temperatures go above average. Now, of course, averages are rising. So I'm thinking we may see some 40s and maybe even some 50s during the second week of March. So some noticeably warmer air will be coming at that point. Of course, we do have the snow out there. Latest indications are actually on the dry side, and that might be very helpful because if we can get the snow and the ice to kind of ease out of here, then we don't have the, as many episodes of flooding, that kind of thing. So, but that doesn't also mean that we don't have, to get there, we've got next week. And next week, I think we've got Arctic cold, and I think we've got probably at least a little more shoveling to do.
Oh, of course. And a lot of things still to come. We'll always do. Thank you for those tidbits of information. All right,
Sure.
Mark Breen, Chief Meteorologist at the Fairbanks Museum. Next Tuesday, we'll bring Town Meeting Day and a total lunar eclipse. Give us an update in regards to that and some other things happening in March.
Yeah, so total lunar eclipse. This is going to be an interesting one. It's not going to be a great, visual spectacle, but still, I think it's going to be interesting because it'll be happening close to moonset. So the moon, you can only have a total lunar eclipse during a full moon. So this is going to be the full moon next early Tuesday morning, so 6:30 in the morning. But this happens with the moon getting close to setting. And so the moon starts to go into the Earth's shadow about 10 minutes of 5 by 6 o'clock, completely eclipsed. However, by 6 o'clock, we're getting closer to sunrise. So the sky's going to be brightening and the moon's going to be darkening. Not a good combination in terms of visibility, but nevertheless, that's what's going to be going on early Tuesday morning against Town Meeting Day in Vermont. And so right now, the weather looks like it's going to cooperate. We'll have to wait and see. It's a long ways out there to be very precise about cloud cover, but at this point, it does look like we'll have generally fair skies. And then the other thing in terms of March is that, of course, March brings St. Patrick's Day, and my friends and I are going to be giving our annual performance, our singing performance, our Celtic concert at the Orford Congregational Church on Saturday, March 14th. So it's not coming up right away, but I just wanted to give folks a kind of a little heads up. They can pencil it in on their calendars. It's always been a good time. We enjoy doing the concert. We have some great Celtic music and some different pieces. Sometimes pieces that you haven't heard before.
How many friends join you, Mark?
So there's 6 of us all together.
Okay.
There's my singing group, which is called Windrose, and then Shunpike Honeymoon. It's Gil and Pat Williams, and I think a lot of people out there are familiar with them. Pat's just a wonderful harpist, and Gil is just a master of all kinds of instruments. So anyway, the 6 of us will put on this Celtic concert. This has been going on in some form for over 30 years.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good for you guys. I'm sure it will be a good time. So we'll let our listeners continue to know that. We'll put it on our community events and keep them updated on it.
Great.
Yeah. All right, Mark, let's find out what's happening with this last weekend of February.
Yes. Well, we've got a cold start, but we've also got some sunshine. That's going to help things out. Won't be as cold this afternoon. Climbing back into the 30s, just a few clouds around. In fact, those clear back out tonight. But even though it'll be clear most of the night, it's going to be much milder, holding in the 20s, maybe some teens in the sheltered valleys, but we've got a gusty south wind that will start kicking up. And that means that tomorrow, breezy, milder, fair amount of clouds, but some sunshine, but highs tomorrow, low to mid-40s. No, it's not going to last. Those clouds actually bring us in a cold front. That means temperatures drop back into the teens Saturday night, and then Sunday we wake up. I think there may be a little bit of snow out there, just a light coating of snow, maybe some clearing Sunday afternoon. But March 1st, cold, highs only 20 to 25.
Yeah, and with the sun, it's melting the snow. We end up with some black ice, so we got to remind our listeners to be careful.
Oh, thanks about that. You're right. Yeah, even on a day below freezing, that sun is strong enough. You get this water that melts, and it freezes right in place.
It does, yeah. All right.
Yep.
Good. Well, thanks for the update. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll chat with you next Friday.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Yep. And there you have it. An update. It's brought to you by Hatchland Farm. Their Wicked Good Dairy Delights and Profile Meats located in North Haverhill. And, of course, at Wicked Good Dairy Delights, they continue to have their quilt class. That's going on until March 11th, I believe. Wednesdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., $50 plus materials. And that's in the event hall right there on Route 10 in North Haverhill with instructor Pam Hagan of North Haverhill. The Hatchland Farm Retail Store on Route 10 in North Haverhill at Wicked Good Dairy Delights strives to stock and sell a good variety of fruits and vegetables, bakery items, fresh baked breads, English muffins, donuts, as well as a variation of many other one-of-a-kind items that sell quickly. The Grab and Go is always stocked with yummy sandwiches, snacks, salads, and meals. Check out their Facebook page to keep up with all of their daily specials at Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, Route 10, North Haverhill. We're coming up on 7:46. We continue to keep you updated on the weather, this time around being brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. You can visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, sunshine mixing with some clouds, not as cold. Highs in the 30s this afternoon, a light south breeze. Clearing this evening, then more clouds after midnight, lows in the 20s, upper teens in the sheltered valleys, and then tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, breezy, milder, highs 40 to 45 falling late in the day. Sunday, a little bit of light snow near 20. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, as we enjoy the clear blue sunny skies as we speak, warming up to the mid and upper 30s. Thanks, Mark. Updated weather is brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. You can visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Lauren Nelson, who is the owner of LC Design Concepts, going to chat with us for the next few minutes. And, of course, Lauren is going to talk about her new location, which is on Route 10 in North Haverhill. Good morning, Lauren. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I am doing good.
All right, Lauren's via telephone this morning, not live in a studio, so maybe in a couple of weeks she'll join us live in the studio. But let's find out about your new location and tell the folks actually where it is on Route 10 in North Haverhill.
Yeah, we're at 2858 Dartmouth College Highway, which is the building right next to the fire station, and we're in front of what was formerly the Mountain Milk Truck Depot. So a lot of people know it as that, and it was ice cream supply business there before. So we bought it in September. We moved in October, remodeling, and when in the next 2 weeks, the final 2 display countertops will be done and installed, and I could stop thinking about finishing the showroom. I could actually think about something else.
Well, the next time we speak, we'll be heading into the middle of March, and spring will be that much closer. So when people walk into the showroom, what will they see in, if they do it right now and also as you move forward this spring and summer?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So we have quite a few new displays in that showroom. It's a little bit bigger than where I was in Wells River and configured completely differently. So I brought over most of the displays that I had in Wells River, but we had the opportunity to add to the offering. And so we've got, tons of door samples, countertop samples, tile, all of that, and quite a few displays over, I think in total, not every display is huge, but about 20 different little vignettes, so you could sort of get a variety of different door styles and finishes and what things look like put together. And the nice thing about owning the building is I can do things I've always wanted to do in the showroom, but as a renter I couldn't without, damaging the building, such as putting in tile backsplashes on each of the displays. So that stuff is still being, worked on, but it's kind of fun and exciting getting to pick out different combinations of, cabinets, countertops, the hardware, the, tile, and then in some cases the sinks and faucets. So it's exciting. When you come in, you'll see a variety of everything. We've got mudroom displays, obviously kitchens, a bathroom display. I've got my home office set up like what yours would be in your home, but that's my functioning office space. And I've got, as everyone knows, I love plants, so I have a little potting station where, if you're into plants and repotting can get quite messy with dirt going everywhere. So I have a custom Corian countertop that's got a lip on all four sides to keep the dirt contained and keep it nice and neat and clean around your workspace. So a lot of people comment on that display when they come in and see it because it's an unusual looking piece.
Yeah, last time I was in there, noticed a lot of do you call them pulls, the things that go in the drawers and the cupboards? Yeah, hundreds of those.
Yes.
Wow, big selection.
Yes,
So-
we got a lot of hardware samples. And the other thing is adding, one of the things that I'll be doing once all the displays are put in and finalized is sort of going through the drawers and shelves and adding all the different accessories, drawer inserts for, say, silverware or cooking utensils and inserts that go in the drawer to organize Tupperware, all of those fun organizational pieces. We still need to work out what's going to go where, but all of the drawers, my goal would be every drawer or door that you open, there's something in the cabinet that can be added in a real life.
Makes life a lot simpler. Wow. The space, looking at the building from Route 10, it doesn't look that big, but you get in there, it is spacious. And it's also airy because when you walk in, you get the high ceilings and it's open and it's also quite bright. So it seems like it complements all of the displays that you have there, Lauren.
It is. I love how much natural light there is. And, the middle room, as we're calling it, has a lower ceiling and it has no windows. And so you can go in there for a darker feel. So it's helpful in a way to have multiple different spaces that have different sort of light qualities because, everybody's home is different. So some people have a lot of natural light in their kitchen and others don't. So we can move the samples throughout the showroom and say, okay, well, you don't have any super bright direct light in your bathroom, for example. Like, let's look at the samples in here, maybe not out in the main showroom where it's super bright because that's not how it's going to represent accurately in your home.
Sure.
But I always tell people, bring the samples home and see it in your actual space and where it's going to live because the light is always different. But yes, the new showroom is amazing for the light and the big space.
Yeah, and it does take time. Lauren and I have had these conversations every couple of weeks for quite a few years now, and she's actually helping Teresa and myself redo a kitchen. And it does take time because we do have a contractor, but by the time we get everything all purchased and settled and all that stuff and decisions made, it's probably going to be late summer before we actually get the project done. So
exactly.
It takes time.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, and there's projects that I'm working on now, say, that are getting ready to be installed. We started working on them, say, last August or September, potentially, is when we first started. So it does take a while lining everybody up, getting products on order, and that's something that I help coordinate with the homeowner, coordinating the contractor and making sure that we're as efficient with our time as possible.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Lauren, you've done this for, 25 or so years. You can all of a sudden get into some real money. So you can also help in that regard as well. And if people do need the extra money, they can go to the local bank and work that out as well. And you're helpful in that regard too, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we need to figure out what something's going to cost and then say, okay, how are we going to pay for this? Is it saving up? Is it using a credit card? Do you have a home equity loan? All of those things. If you are going to the bank, I can get you all the paperwork that you need to bring to them to present and say, yep, this is what we're doing. Here's the value we're adding. doing a home equity loan, you got to do the appraisal and all that good stuff. I can give you the supporting documents you need to go and make that happen.
The thing is, get the conversation started with Lauren sometime soon, because even if you don't have anything in mind, it at least gives you an idea of what things look like today and what the future actually looks like for your kitchen, your bathroom, your she shed, man cave, whatever the situation might be.
Exactly.
So when the flag is out in North Haverhill, that means you're probably there.
Yes, if you see the green open flag, that means I'm there. Otherwise, I always tell people, give us a call or look us up. Google LC Design Concepts, and we'll come up, and just call or send an email about scheduling an appointment. Because if the flag's been out, it means I'm out at a job site, most likely.
Well, the next time it looks like might be Friday, March 13th, that we'll chat, as we do this every couple of weeks with Lauren, the owner of LC Design Concepts, Route 10 North Haverhill. Wow, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule today, and we look forward to our next conversation as we get closer to spring, Lauren.
Yeah, have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you, Lauren. For centuries, funerals have helped us say goodbye. No matter what kind of funeral ceremony you are planning, Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care of Woodsville will help you to understand the various parts of a meaningful service to honor the life of your loved one. These elements include music, memories, readings, visitation and reception, eulogy and remembrance, symbols, procession, graveside service, and funeral reception. Together with Ricker Funeral Home, you can create a ceremony deserving of the special life that was lived. For additional information, contact Ricker Funeral Home in Woodsville.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixing with some clouds, not as cold. Highs in the 30s this afternoon, a light south breeze. Clearing this evening, then more clouds after midnight, lows in the 20s, upper teens in the sheltered valleys, and then tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, breezy, milder, highs 40 to 45, falling late in the day. Sunday, a little bit of light snow near 20. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. It's 7:57. It is still cold under clear blue, sunny skies. Updated weather brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care right there in Woodsville. And they are locally owned, family operated. Understanding the benefits of pre-planning has prompted many to take the step to plan their own arrangements with Ricker Funeral Home, either in person or online at rickerfh.com. And for additional information, you can give them a call locally at 603-747-2717. Still coming up the next hour, a busy 8 o'clock hour. We'll come out of it, out of the 8 o'clock news, chatting with Westward Auto Repair in St. Johnsbury. Lorenzo Wilhite, along with Lisa, will be in with us today from Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Let's see, Valley Floors, our weekly regular for many, many years. Chat with them. Liz Shelton, representing the Party Store. And then a conversation I had yesterday with Karen Meyers and Kuba Kubkowski from Cottage Hospital. We'll listen to that conversation between 8:30 and 9 this morning.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
We're just a minute away from checking the top of the hour network news at 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, locally in the Journal Opinion, you can check out the headlines, including BMI to vote on budget. We have Warren eyes $2 million in new buildings. In times past, they came as strangers. And Vermont Town Meeting previews. Bradford, Corinth, Reigate, Topsom. Plus, in the Journal Opinion, lots of letters to the editor, high school girls and boys basketball coverage, and many, many other stories that you will have an interest in. You can subscribe to the Journal Opinion. It's really easy. All you have to do is go to their website and subscribe. Or you can go to your favorite newsstand and pick up the Journal Opinion. Good local news. We're getting set to check out the news top of the hour from the CBS World News Network. And as we said, we'll come out of that chatting with West Ward Auto Repair and then a conversation with Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Right now, though, it is 8 o'clock. Let's take a break and check out the news. We're 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. We'll take a break for a few minutes, head to St. Johnsbury and chat with the gang at West Ward Auto Repair. This morning, chatting with Dave. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. All right. So let's find out how the vehicles are doing with all those potholes and frost heaves that we're experiencing this year.
They are taking it rough. We are seeing a lot of suspension work, ball joints, sway bar links. It's been a rough spring, and it's not even spring yet.
Yeah. How do people driving the vehicles, no matter what they are, how do they know they have a problem anyway, Dave?
So just listen for noises, or if anything doesn't feel like it's steering right, or just bring in for regular routine maintenance. We catch a lot of it for, people that are on top of their oil changes, bringing them in and, at the recommended intervals, 3,000 or 5,000 miles. And we're just catching a lot of worn parts if you're not getting a noise.
Yeah, are there some vehicles that seem a little bit more susceptible to this than others?
Not really.
Really?
With the way the roads are, we're seeing it on almost everything right now. Yeah. Okay. Everything from SUVs to small cars to even the bigger trucks. It's really taken a beating on them this year.
Of course. You're a Vermont State Inspection Station up there. Vermont really hasn't changed their dynamic in regards to that yet, have they?
Not yet. No, they keep saying they're going to go, look into different things, but luckily nothing has changed yet. As far as if they're looking to change it, I think it's going to end up being a bad idea because we've got, so many variables up here where, you got to bring it in to make sure your car is safe.
All right, so besides the potholes and suspension problems, maybe a few other things that they could be looking out for as we're getting on the other side of winter, supposedly in a hurry, maybe?
Hopefully we're getting on the other side of it, yeah. Just kind of keep an eye on everything. Biggest thing is making sure you're bringing it in for that routine maintenance, whether it's your tire rotations or your oil changes, just so we can get a look at the car.
Okay. What's the best way for customers to do that? Website, call you, stop in?
You can get on the website. You can call us at 802-748-3636. Stop in, whatever works. We'll get you in and make sure we get you taken care of immediately, or as soon as possible.
All right, we do this every couple of weeks, chat with the gang at West Ward Auto Repair in St. Johnsbury, the owner Brett and Ashley checking in periodically, Danny, and, of course, Dave, we appreciate your time today.
Not a problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll be chatting with Wells River Savings Bank. Lisa and Lorenzo are with us, but we'll take a break here for a minute and find out what's happening with the Red Sox.
Red Sox preseason winners yesterday over the Tampa Rays, 7-5. Two of the Red Sox key performers were at work. Starting pitcher Garrett Crochet, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, a base on balls. Crochet won 18 games last season.
Coming off the biggest workload of my life, it's definitely a different stance on the subject. And, trying to get going up to game speed as quick as possible. I think I've got one more live until then, so still some time. But I'm still trying to get myself in that mindset and that mode so that I can get going early.
Garrett Crochet. Shortstop Trevor Story, 2 base hits, 2 runs batted in. There is no question Trevor Story is the Red Sox team leader.
I do know that there's another level in there for me. And just kind of getting back to baseline was big for me, which I think is what last year was for me. And, so I'm excited to push on to that for this year.
Trevor Story. Today is the Red Sox at the Atlanta Braves.
All right, it is the last Friday of the month. We're going to say goodbye to winter sometime soon, even though I guess it's still a few weeks away. We do this last Friday of the month. Chat with the gang from Wells River Savings, a good neighbor bank, Lorenzo. Morning, Lorenzo Wilhite, who's the president and CEO.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thank you. And you've got a guest with you today.
I do. I've got Lisa Engel, who's our senior vice president of retail, joining me. So I just thought we'd talk about a little bit we usually talk loans and things, but thought it'd be a good chance to talk about the retail side a little bit.
Okay. What's that mean?
So today we kind of want to talk about our business checking.
Okay.
We feel like people probably don't know this, but our business checking accounts are totally free. There are no monthly service charges. no per check deposit charges. And the only fee you would have is if you don't have online banking with e-statements, would be a monthly statement fee of $2. Other than that, there are no fees to this account.
Okay. Something good to know.
Yes, I mean, with all the other institutions out there, most of them charge a fee and charge things, and we do not. So it's a great aspect for our customers to have that free account.
And sometimes people just don't realize it. What are those fees? Is there a per check fee? There's always something with it, and we just decided to make it simple. Have had that way for years.
Yeah.
It's not something we just changed. It's something that we've had it like that for a long time.
Okay. Lisa?
We also offer, remote deposit capture with these accounts. So that means that instead of having to come into our lobbies to make a deposit, you can do that right from your office. We have machines that we can, we call it lease to you, and there's a monthly fee to do that, and it's $60 a month. And you can do the deposit right from your office. It saves time and gas and all of those other things.
So when they have that device,
Yes.
it's hitched to their computer, I guess?
It is.
So they got certain software?
There's you just download a program,
Okay.
and they make the deposit directly right into
So
their
they're
account.
scanned, I assume they go into their computer and then they send them? How does it work?
Yeah, it does. The machine scans it. It shows up on their computer. They check it. They verify that the deposit looks correct. The checks all look good, and they hit send, and the deposit gets made.
Okay.
And then, they're required to keep the checks for a little while, and, there's certain caveats to having the machine and all of those things. But, it's actually pretty simple for everyone to
Pretty
use.
convenient.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard as a business owner. We all know how that is.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
To try to, remember I got to run to the bank at this certain time and deposit the stack of checks that I received or things where this alleviates that.
All right, let's say a business stops in today and they want to do that. What's the turnaround time? They take the device home?
There is a process to it. So
Okay.
we do have some forms we have to fill out and an application they have to fill out. But we can turn it around within 2 weeks, probably. Yeah.
How long does it take to get the scanner?
It takes a few days to get the scanner, and we don't normally keep them on hand, but
Sure.
sometimes we have one or two, and we can do it.
Yeah, well, technology changes. If you had a dozen of those on the shelf and then all of a sudden technology changes, those are no good and you have to move on. So,
Correct.
I mean, that would make sense, I guess.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can start, we've got, when you think about on the commercial side, especially being we're talking about that, you get the business loan officers who can help with that too. So we've got Crystal Pearson, we've got John Hobbs, we've got Brian George. Any of them can begin that conversation and then bring Lisa into the mix to help get that process set up.
Do they have to do this through the main office or can they do it at any branch?
Any branch can talk to them about it, and then they'll refer them to one of us, and we'll talk through that with them. And we like to go visit them and set it up and have a
Okay.
whole conversation.
All right,
Yeah.
so you make it pretty easy for the customer then.
We try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly,
right?
man. Okay, so that's today's technology.
Yeah, well, that's just it, technology.
And
how do you make it easier to bank is what you try to do. And, and it's changed the dynamics for us over the years where we can reach customers farther away from where maybe we have an actual branch location because of some of these conveniences.
Okay, yeah. Technology certainly changes and it is evolving.
It is evolving.
Now AI is a big deal.
Yeah, everything that we seem to, every meeting or you go into has some kind of an AI component talking about either what it's going to be doing or talking about what you got to be careful of to make sure, how do you protect against it and then how do you use it to your benefit?
Sure. So other highlights during the month of February that happened at the bank that maybe come to mind, or we're heading into March?
I think,
town meetings this coming week.
Yeah, I know.
Tuesday.
I think for us, we have a couple, current job openings, which is always something that we try to keep filled. We have a float teller that's based out of Bradford, and we also have a deposit operations position up here in Wells River.
Okay.
So we've got those going. In March, we actually have all-staff meeting on the
18th, on Wednesday the 18th.
That's why I have Lisa with me, because I don't remember any dates.
So what does that mean, an all-staff meeting?
So that means we're going to close we'll be closing all the locations at like 4 o'clock on that day so that our staff can all get together. And it's a meeting that is important to kind of give our information of how was the year, what's new, some of the stuff you're talking about, what technology, what's coming, how are things impacting the bank, what's happening with our communities, and just kind of gets the whole bank staff together to hear the same message and be able to hope that we're all in that, kind of going in that same direction.
All right. So in regards to the remote deposit capture, did I get that right?
Yep.
So if they call the call center and ask, this is what we have an interest in, they'll steer them in the right direction.
They will indeed.
All right, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Or stop into one of the banks.
Any one of the branches, yes.
Enjoying the weekend. We're heading into March this Sunday, so getting that much closer to spring. I think everybody's talking about that nowadays.
I think so. And then all of a sudden this morning you're like, how cold is it out again?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Warmer temps are in the forecast, according to Mark. Got to get through this weekend and a few cold days next week, but then, riding around, don't even see the trees being tapped yet.
I know. It's been...
And last year they were in February.
Yep.
Every year's so different, isn't it?
It is. There's been more snow than, if you really look at, we've had a lot of snow, but if you look at how it's come, we have more snow than I think people realize this year.
That's true. Yeah. People have some leaky roofs,
Yeah.
so I guess if they need a new roof, they can talk with the bank and get some money to replace their roof sometime this spring or summer.
Yep.
All right. Final comments from either one of you.
No, I think for us, it's just if you have a question, if we want to talk commercial checking, call us.
Okay.
Or like you said, stop in and just ask the particulars about the account or how some of these things work, because those dynamics, there's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we can keep it convenient, and as Lisa said, with the remote deposit capture, they're going to go to the business and help set it up and do things. So stop in and talk with us.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
All right, Lisa, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank, 14 minutes after 8. We'll take a look at the weather forecast, then a conversation with the gang at Valley Floors. Tommy's Auto is now open at 266 Route 10 in Piermont, taking care of vehicle maintenance just in time for the new year. Tommy still has the inventory to get your vehicle outfitted real quick with winter tires mounted and balanced. Make your appointment now by calling Tommy's Auto, 802-535-2804. After spending many years at Moonlight Auto Repair, Tommy decided to open his own business at 266 Route 10 in Piermont with the best prices on all services. Open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Now is the time to contact Tommy's Auto.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, sunshine mixing with some clouds, not as cold. Highs in the 30s this afternoon, a light south breeze. Clearing this evening, then more clouds after midnight, lows in the 20s, upper teens in the sheltered valleys, and then tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, breezy, milder, highs 40 to 45 falling late in the day. Sunday, a little bit of light snow near 20. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Updated weather that's brought to you by Tommy's Auto. Brand new business right there down in Piermont. And stop in or give Tommy a call and see what they can do for you. Open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Be sure to make your appointment now by calling Tommy at 802-535-2804. And after spending many years at Moonlight Auto, Tommy decided to open his own business. Tommy's Auto, again, is located at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. And Tommy looks forward to meeting you and taking care of your vehicle needs. And glad that you could be with us this morning, Stephen, John, and friends. We take you right up until 9 o'clock news and information. We've had a lot of guests already this morning. We have many more still to come your way as we continue to take a look at the latest weather. We also take a break and look at the latest in the world of sports and more as we continue through the morning here at Your Country WYKR. We'll take a break here, see how the Red Sox are doing, and then hopefully on the other side we'll be able to chat with our guest from Valley Floors in Bradford.
Red Sox preseason winners yesterday over the Tampa Rays, 7-5. Two of the Red Sox key performers were at work. Starting pitcher Garrett Crochet, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, a base on balls. Crochet won 18 games last season.
Coming off the biggest workload of my life, it's definitely a different stance on the subject. And, trying to get going up to game speed as quick as possible. I think I've got one more live until then, so still some time. But I'm still trying to get myself in that mindset and that mode so that I can get going early.
Garrett Crochet. Shortstop Trevor Story, 2 base hits, 2 runs batted in. There is no question Trevor Story is the Red Sox team leader.
I do know that there's another level in there for me, and just kind of getting back to baseline was big for me, which I think is what last year was for me, and so I'm excited to push on to that for this year.
Trevor Story. Today is the Red Sox at the Atlanta Braves.
All All right, thank you very much. We're about 20 minutes after 8. We head to Valley Floors now and find out what's happening in the world of shades and windows. Greg, how you doing this morning?
I am doing well, Stephen. Yourself?
We're doing good, thank you. Are you a snowmobiler, or were you in the past?
I'm not a snowmobiler. The trail runs right by our house. Sometimes I look out there and I see them going, and I'm like, well, I wish I was a snowmobiler. But, this year has been a great year for people on snowmobiling, and good for them, snowmobiling and skiing. But other years, if you got a snowmobile that sits in the dooryard, it's great if you can pay for them, completely and not have a payment on them. But when they sit there and collect dust, so.
The thing is, it's a great sport, and they don't give them away anymore. Back when I did
No, they don't.
I'm going to date myself because I'm talking the late 60s, early 70s, and I think my snowmobile cost like $120.
Yeah, right. I got a cousin that goes all the time, and every time he calls me up and says he's going snowmobile, and I'm like, well, I wish I could go with you, but I'm 70 years old.
Yeah,
which doesn't mean anything, but in any case.
All right. So let's talk about those shades and those windows. Those shades that you have work year-round, don't they, Greg?
They work year-round, and matter of fact, I just put one in my office window at my desk because the windows are old, and I put a ParaView honeycomb shade in, and you wouldn't believe how much it stopped the cold. You can peel it on the edges, but nothing like it was before. And it's Norman's got a new motorized system right now that they got a cordless charger, and they really work slick. They're really nice.
Yeah, and that with the window right there, you can show the customers how efficient and how slick they work.
Absolutely, and that's. It was two reasons I got that. One, because of the cold air coming through, and the other reason I got it is I wanted to show my clients when they come in what it'll do, how much cold it'll stop and how it works, and they're really nice. Yeah.
So, it's going to work year-round, and also these work for privacy, depending if you need that from your next-door neighbor or from the other road.
For privacy, yep. Like I said, we've got all kinds of different shades for privacy and for warmth. We got solar screen, which work really nice. You can look out of them, but you can't really see in. Unless you got a bright light in the inside, and then you see a silhouette, but you won't be able to see anything. And those don't give you any insulating value, but they do cut down on the sun and everything, which can ruin your furniture and your floors and everything else.
Yeah,
people don't realize that. You have a room that the sun really beats in on. After a year of it beating in, and you've had a rug on the floor, lift your rug up and look. You'll see where it's a whole different color.
That is so true. And let's say you've got some expensive artwork on the wall. It can also help protect that.
Correct. It can. Yep.
So it's really important, even though we're talking about beating the cold, because it has been a relatively cold winter. This is also going to help beat the heat, isn't it, Greg?
It is going to help beat the heat. And getting back to the other thing that the shades aren't inexpensive, but in the long run, it really makes sense to have them. I'm still busy as I was last year, putting shades in, and it slows down a little bit in the wintertime, which is fine because then I don't have to be out in the cold,
right,
trudging through the snow and such. But like somebody can stop in, which I have a lot of people that come in, and we just talk about shades and, what they're looking for and, what their goal is. And so, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
And we have a nice display.
Yeah,
and when they come in, they can look at everything else we have in here, which is a ton.
Yeah, and the great information. Greg's been doing this a long time, taking care of those window coverings at Valley Floor. So you've got Hunter Douglas, Graber, and Norman. Are those the ones, Greg?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And, you might spend a little bit more now, but you're going to save down the road.
You are going to save down the road. You are.
Good for you.
It's, people, when I give them the price, they're like, oh, my God. I'm like, well, you can go to Home Depot and buy something, and you're going to spend half of that. But if something goes wrong with it, they're not going to come out, and help you. It's a one-stop shop here.
Yeah.
If something happens with the shade after I install it, then I'll come out and replace it.
There you go. See, Greg
Pretty
does
simple.
the installation. You also do the free measures, don't you, Greg?
free measures, the installation, and then, the follow-up afterwards if something goes wrong, which it normally doesn't, but just in case it does. Yeah, I mean, it's important to me to make sure that everybody has a great experience here at Valley Forge.
Definitely.
And that's what I want them to have.
Yeah, good for you. All right, so you're there, I assume, Monday through Friday. They should make an appointment.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and if people, they can't make it and after 4, I certainly will meet them, and on the weekends, I certainly will meet somebody.
Good enough.
Yep.
All right, Greg, thanks for your time today, and enjoy the weekend.
You're welcome, Steve. You as well.
Thank you
Have
much.
a great day.
All righty.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Hey, you have it, Greg Hodge. You take care of the window coverings of Valley Floors right there in Bradford. It's 8:25 still coming up. We hope to be chatting with Liz Shelton, and then a conversation ahead with representatives from Cottage Hospital. The weather right now is being brought to you by PTO's Repair, your local Fisher authorized dealer located at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh.
PTOs want you to know we are your local factory authorized Fisher plow dealer. We sell, install, and service all Fisher plows and sanders. We have over 20 years of experience in factory training. Make PTO's Repair your first stop for all your Fisher plow needs. PTO's Repair, 2320 Route 5 Fairleigh, or at ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO, and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixing with some clouds, not as cold. Highs in the 30s this afternoon, a light south breeze. Clearing this evening, then more clouds after midnight, lows in the 20s, upper teens in the sheltered valleys, and then tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, breezy, milder, highs 40 to 45 falling late in the day. Sunday, a little bit of light snow near 20. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Updated look at the weather brought to you by PTO's Repair. Stop in, say hi to Paul and Kim, your local Fisher authorized dealer located at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh. And you can call them at 222-6152. Of course, 802-222-6152. Fisher Plows and Fisher Sanders at PTO's Repair, just about 3.5 miles south of the traffic light in Bradford. That's it. That's the updated weather. Clear blue sunny skies. Temperatures that were below zero. We're warming up nicely to temperatures between 35 and 40 today. All right. A little hungry. Okay. You can stop by Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. You can do it to enjoy sweet and sour meatballs over rice along with a side and a roll. How about a haddock sandwich with chips and pickle, or the Montshire Farm mushroom Swiss burger with French fries or tater tots? Their soup is corn chowder, and the seafood, where'd that come from? Seafood available today includes the whole belly clams, strip clams, scallops, and haddock. And, of course, this is the specials that we just ran down for you. You can also order from the regular menu. You can even order out if you can't. If you're kind of on the run today, 757-3333 would be the number to call. They look forward to serving you today at Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. We're about 28 minutes after 8. It's Friday morning. Stephen, John, and friends, we take you to 9 o'clock news and information. We're so glad to have you along here with us. It's time to spend some memorable and important minutes with Cottage Hospital as we do this the final Friday of the month between 8:30 and 9. Get together with a representative from Cottage Hospital that Kuba is so kind to find.
Always my pleasure.
How you doing, Kuba?
I'm doing great, feeling better. I will say, just before we start, I apologize to the audience if I cough or I'm clearing my throat. I'm getting over a cold, which I know many people have been suffering through this time of year, so please bear with me. But I'm feeling better, so I think I should be okay.
All right, guest today is who?
Yes, our guest today is Karen. She's one of the RNs here at Cottage Hospital. She's a part of the quality team and the cardiac respiratory team, and she is one of our representatives for patient safety awareness. So she helps to oversee all of the different rules and regulations that the hospital has in place to ensure that patients feel safe, that the procedures that they do are done safely in accordance with the greater codes that the health administrators throughout the state and the country apply. And so she's here to talk about patient safety awareness and Patient Safety Awareness Week, which is coming up in March.
All right, she's got some heavy lifting. Good morning.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
Good morning, Steve.
She does a lot.
I bet she does.
Very nice to meet you.
Excellent. Same.
Very nice to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you here. Karen Meyers, RN. So where did
Yes.
your career start?
So I've been in nursing just under 40 years. Started in Worcester, graduated in Worcester, and I actually started at a small community hospital and for a few years, and then moved into Boston for my nursing career for about 30 years. Worked in a medical ICU for a long time. Just saw some of my medical ICU friend peeps yesterday. So my sister had some surgery down there, but went and got my bachelor's. Now I have my master's in nursing leadership, and so yeah. And our kids all grew up, and we had some property in Lisbon, so we built a house, and I thought it would be a nice change to go back to a small community hospital.
Yeah, great community and a great area.
Great community.
How long
Love
you been
it.
at Cottage now, Karen?
It will be 3 years. It is 3 years.
So what
Wow,
I mean,
I thought-
your whole career.
It is 3 years.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought you'd been there longer.
Yeah.
I've been here 2 years now,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
not that much older than
Yeah,
me.
it's a little over 3 years.
Yeah, so you've always been in healthcare.
Yes.
So what made you want that to be your career? What was your decision? What was the factor?
Initially, obviously, just really just empathy for our mankind and compassion and just wanting to help our fellow neighbors and communities, trying to and as it moved along, just trying to empower people to know that they have a big say in their health care.
Okay. Let's get to some of that in just a moment, because we've got Patient Safety Awareness Week 2026. That's coming up March 8th through the 14th, 2026.
Yes.
What does that mean? Just a quick overview, or just an overview?
Really, patient safety awareness. We want to be able to provide patients' communities with the foundations that they know that they have available to them. They have their own voice. They have advocacy. They have a lot of tools that we can offer them, and we should be providing them and helping people along that continuum of healthcare. And whether that be their own thoughts of healthcare, because not everybody is very medically, or a lot of people they enjoy alternative measures. So respecting people where they're at in their mindset and their sense of wellness, and helping them to progress along the way.
Certainly. Of course, doctors and RNs and whatever the health field has, they're constantly being educated. And even your patients are being educated to a certain degree.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a lot of information out there, especially with the World Wide Web.
Yes,
But sometimes there's so much information, it's hard to weed through. And I know
Good point.
before we started the show, something that Karen had brought up, oftentimes if you are a patient, it can be nerve-wracking and sometimes scary to advocate for yourself when your doctor or your nurse are telling you one thing and to question it. So I think a big part of Patient Safety Awareness Week is to just bring attention to these things that, hey, we have medical professionals, they've gone through the training, they know what's best for you. If you have questions about what something means, what kinds of restrictions you may be facing, we want to make sure that patients feel comfortable to raise those concerns, ask the questions. Obviously, I'm not saying argue with your doctor, but if you're unsure about something, it's always a great idea to clarify. Sometimes by doing that, you're saving yourself a world of pain or from making a mistake that could have been very easily avoided, just by clarifying what something meant.
So as you said, the patient has a right to ask their provider any questions that they are concerned about.
Yes, and with that being said, as much as physicians, nurses, they're all experts in what they're expert in. We're not expert in every single thing. So I truly appreciate, and I think any provider would truly appreciate, if somebody brought to my attention, hey, I just realized that with me taking magnesium at night, like my blood pressure isn't as high in the morning. And maybe I don't have to be on 3 different blood pressure medications. Like there's always, it's so enlightening to know that people can really truly be engaged in their care. And that really requires a back and forth. I know that providers are so the time they have with patients is so time sensitive and limited compared to years ago. Years ago, providers would come to your house. Years ago, you could spend an hour with your doctor in the office. Now, they're like, I have 20 minutes. And if you have an entirely different problem than what you're here with today, we might have to make another appointment. And how scary is that for somebody who may have challenges just getting to the doctor, may not have another advocate for themselves. So we really, as healthcare professionals, have to be so sensitive to the individual needs. And I think that's what every patient is individual. Every person is individual. What I may feel comfortable with, you might not be feeling.
Yeah, you have such variances too. You got younger people, you got middle-aged people, life changes, right? And then you have the older people, and sometimes they get a little forgetful, right?
Yes.
So it's all important, isn't it? It's such a changing dynamic.
Right.
And I always say, if people don't feel comfortable going by themselves, bring a friend, bring your spouse, bring a family member, bring somebody who can write down as you're listening, especially if people are having have some complicated care. Bring somebody with you if you can.
So how does that work with the laws then? Because this is your specialty, I guess, according to what Kuba was saying earlier in the conversation, because of the HEPA laws and all of that stuff. How does that dynamic play into that anyway, Karen?
Right. So when you go to your doctor's office, you have to sign a HIPAA form.
Sure.
Okay, and really all it takes is you saying, I allow Kuba to come with me and sit here with me while I'm trying to interpret and listen to what's being said. And I think that it's really just super important because there's so much that can be missed.
So day in and day out, what are some of the things that you are seeing that you deal with, Karen?
So it's a lot different, what I deal with now compared to what I dealt with a few years back. But for instance, I'm in cardiac rehab. Love cardiac rehab. People are readjusting to life and reconditioning themselves after they've had a cardiac event. But they're also on a lot of new medication. They're wondering, how much can I get back to the potential I was at prior to this event? And so part of our role is really giving them the confidence that they're going to get back there. Me being kind of the mediator, if they come in and our first question is always, how are you feeling? Do you feel any different today than you did the other day? Are you getting dizzy? Focusing in on the new medications they're on and the symptoms that they can often get with them. And a lot of times I'm calling the doctor's office saying, you need to see them not in 2 months, you need to see them tomorrow. You need to call them today.
Well, earlier in the conversation, kind of going back to the white coat syndrome, so to speak. So are the hospitals kind of changing their approach to how they handle the patients? Kind of going off on what you just said, just barely?
I think so. I know in different areas, depending on where you are in the hospital, like if somebody comes through the emergency room, they're asking like what medications they automatically they're supposed to be doing medication reconciliations and making sure that what the patient is on is in front of them, or if they don't know what they're on, that they have this new list of medications. So if somebody comes in with a stroke, they know that they're on like already a blood thinner, so they may have to be more careful about what they're administering, how they're administering, so it's important. And I think that really what's really changed also is not just verbal directions, but written directions. So people who might be discharged from the emergency room, they're saying, okay, they have written instructions. This is what the nurse is saying, you have a viral illness. If, these are the symptoms you might experience over the next few days. This is the medication we're sending you home on. If you feel at all uncomfortable, please come back to the emergency room. We want you to follow up with your primary care physician within 2 days. So there's a set of instructions that they're discharged with. Same with on the inpatient side. Same with on the post-operative
So patient's
side.
going to have some homework depending on the situation. But, we have our regular checkups, right? We have annual visits. And then sometimes, depending on what's going on, you're going to have visits that happen more often. And then you have emergencies.
Right.
So is there a way that our patients, our listeners, can prepare for some of this in advance?
Yeah, I think a lot is us maybe coming here once a month to doing some education. Like a big thing in the wintertime is sepsis. A lot of people are like, well, but their doctor might say, you have sepsis. What is sepsis? Sepsis is an overwhelming infection that can affect your brain, because it can lower your blood pressure. Sepsis can start in your blood. Sepsis can start because you have a leg ulcer. But that needs to be, so people knowing that if I'm not feeling, if I start feeling confused, or if I've had a high fever for a few days, maybe I shouldn't wait it out at home. If I'm having a little shortness of breath now and it's not getting better, maybe I should get myself checked out sooner.
Yeah.
And having somebody to help them bring them to the emergency room to
Of
do
course,
that.
sometimes, as we've heard, men sometimes wait a little too long, don't they? They think they can power through this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I will say I am guilty of
Yeah.
this.
All right.
And it's normal, I want people to know that it's normal to be afraid. It's normal to feel a sense of denial. Because a lot of people do. They're like, I'm going to get over this.
Yeah, I hear you.
That pain. I had that yesterday. And yesterday it stopped in 10 minutes. So it's normal to feel that sense of denial. It's normal to feel apprehension, like maybe they didn't have a good experience the last time they went.
Sure.
So I think just really setting your mindset that it's okay. Doctors and nurses would rather see you when you're, you come and they can say, oh, you know what? We can actually get you back home today. We don't have to admit you. Or they're saying, you are so astute getting yourself here, because now we have to get something. We have to bring you inpatient. We have to transfer you to Dartmouth. We have to keep that care going and keep an eye on you for a few days.
Yeah. Karen Meyers, RN from Cottage Hospital, and Kuba Kubkowski is with us today. He's community relations liaison.
That's me.
Is that it?
That is.
All right. Good. We'll find out a little bit more in regards to some of the things coming up in 2026 at Cottage Hospital in just a few minutes. Patient Safety Awareness Week, March 8th through the 14th. Team Up for Patient Safety. Is that something that's part of that, or something you guys came up at Cottage Hospital with that name?
That's I think every year they come up with a theme.
Okay.
So the national group will come up with a theme. So this year it's teaming up, and it's kind of around sports and baseball. So if you come to Cottage Hospital, and most likely, or I want to say more than likely, if you go to other places that use some of the promotional material, the theme is going to be around baseball. But when you come to Cottage, you'll be able to recognize some of the different committees that we have that deal with different aspects of patient safety, who they are, what they do. We're going to have little presentations in our glass hallways, so that way when patients do visit, they can learn a little bit more about it. And then if you keep an eye out on our social media pages and our website, we're going to be putting that stuff out there too, just in case you're not a regular or you can't come and visit us in person. We want to make sure that people are aware. This is what it is. These are the people involved. This is how they make these decisions. This is what it means for you.
I was going to ask you that, so I'm glad you brought it up. So emphasizing collaboration between care teams, patients, and their families. We've hit on that. I mean, basically hit on it. We're just kind of scratching the surface just a little bit, because we can get into it and talk probably for hours today.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
And when Kuba talks about patient safety awareness, really, it's year-long. So in September, they have safety falls awareness, safety sepsis awareness. I feel like every month there's an awareness. So our committees really try to focus on patient safety, infectious disease, falls, sepsis, really focusing on how can we improve our care so that we can meet people where they're at.
Well, the other part of it, too, is the things that we see often. So,
Yes.
I mean, there's so many aspects to it when you really get into it. But being a smaller hospital, too, and in our community, we do a yearly report. So what kinds of things are we seeing the most often?
Yep.
So that way, for those things, we can be overly prepared. When people come in, we already have everything set in place.
Yep.
That doesn't mean we don't prepare for the other things. It just means, hey, this is what we're going to most likely experience at a higher rate. We want to make sure that when people come in, everybody's trained up so that way those patients can be treated properly. And then we have contingencies for anything else that we might see.
Yeah. And Steve, when you think of the healthcare team, it really encompasses so many people. You have the dietitians, you have the laboratory people, you have the registration, you have our environmental service. There are radiology. There are so many people that a patient can see in one day, and putting a smiling face to that really, because I will say, I think Cottage Hospital, and I might be biased, but it is the cleanest hospital I think I've ever worked at. So, kudos to our environmental team. But yes, it is all about that. Environmental. They're making sure the floor is dry. They're making sure that, structurally, environmentally, the chair isn't right in front of the bed. So if the patient tries to get out, they're not tripping over the chair. There's a lot.
There's a lot
involved.
Like we said, we could talk so much and go into so much more detail. We're just scratching the surface here because
exactly.
Medication safety questions,
yes.
Communication questions. We kind of touched on that. Identification and verification questions, family and support involvement. The list goes on and on and on, doesn't it? As we said, Patient Safety Awareness Week is coming up March 8th through the 14th. Talking with Karen Meyers, RN, and Kuba, who's the community relations liaison at Cottage Hospital. So your final comments might include what today, Karen?
I would just like to say that people are amazing. They have much more willpower than they ever think they have to really advocate for themselves. And I think it just takes a little bit of education and just empowerment to know that there's no question there's no stupid question. Every question is important to them, and it should be important to the healthcare team, because you want people to understand why they're on a medication, the symptoms they're having from medication. You want them to know that they need to call. They should feel free to call at any time if they're unsure of something. People should be, especially if you're social workers, so incredibly important. If people are living at home by themselves, please, please, please know that there are communities here for you. The Cottage Hospital, you just need to call and say, I need to talk to somebody because I don't know if I can get up from my bed. I don't know if I can go out to the grocery store, because you know what? The social worker can help segue that into maybe having, the senior center somebody come and check on them. So I just want people to know that they're not alone.
There's support out there.
They're not alone.
All
We're
you
here
have to do is
support
ask.
them. Yes,
Wow.
we're here to support them.
Awesome. Well, this conversation is going to continue, I can tell.
Yes.
Just not today. Karen.
We'll bring Karen back, that's for sure.
There's
Karen.
more parting words, but there's only so much time, right?
That's true. Karen Meyers, RN, Cottage Hospital. Thanks.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
Definitely.
Thanks
me
for
as
the
well.
opportunity.
And Kuba, some things coming up?
Oh, yeah. Big year ahead of us.
Excellent.
So we're very excited. As always, thanks so much for making the time for us to come on, Steve. It's always a pleasure to come and see you and the rest of the team down here at WYKR. So some of the big events that people should be on the lookout, we are adjusting our 5K, any which way 5K date. We're doing it, of course, but rather than doing it in the fall like we have in the past, we had made the decision to tie it in with Hospital Week which we celebrate mid-May. So we're going to be doing it to round off Hospital Week to help with the celebration, kind of give everybody a reason to get out and stretch their legs after this long, snowy, cold winter that we had. So if you're listening to this and you or watching this and you want to sign up for the 5K, the registration is live on our website. It's live on our Facebook page. The date is May 17th. It's a Sunday morning. From this last year, when we did it on a Sunday, we had a lot of people say that they really enjoyed it, that they appreciated it, so we made the decision to stick with it. May 17th is the new date this year to help with Hospital Week. The other thing is fall is such a busy time for us with our other fundraisers, our annual gala, that having a smaller, more dedicated team to deal with everything can be a lot, and separating fundraisers and making sure that all the goals are met. So this kind of gives us a little bit of a leeway to focus on one fundraiser towards the beginning half of the year and our bigger fundraisers the second half of the year.
Sure, good time. Just under 3 months away. So
Yes.
get your sneakers, get walking, do a little jogging.
Yeah,
What do you
well, hey,
say?
now another great reason to go to the gym,
True.
get out, go do a walk, do some stretching at home, but it's going to be a great time. We can't wait to see the crowd again come out this year. If you want to join, if you have questions, reach out to us. I'm happy to help. And then we're hoping, it looks like it's going to happen this summer, we're going to have our first annual softball tournament.
Wow.
So we got
That
other
should be
local
fun.
organizations
That would be
that we've been working with to put this together. The details will come out once everything is absolutely finalized, but just keep an eye out. We're looking to do a Cottage versus softball tournament against some of our other local organizations. At the 5K, the fire department, love those guys, but they were talking some smack.
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be a fun time. So
What-
we're gonna have
what
a
field
couple
have you
of teams.
chosen?
We're looking to do it at the VFW field in Haverhill.
Okay.
So again, once all the details are finalized, we'll let everybody know the date, the location, the times. But it's
Awesome.
going to be a great time. It's
That would be
shaping out to
fun.
be a fun event, and then of course our annual gala that's going to happen this fall. Details are on our website, so you can go ahead and check it out. Save the date, and we can't wait to see everybody come out and join us at our events.
Yeah, and as Kuba was saying
It'd be a
earlier,
nice reprieve.
yeah, and as you were saying earlier, you got a lot of stuff on social media, so check that out.
Yes.
And Karen was saying, anybody has any questions in regards to the stuff we just talked about with Kuba or with Karen,
Yeah.
call or stop by Cottage Hospital.
Happy to help.
You bet. You bet.
Thanks,
Wow.
Steve.
Another great conversation
Yeah.
with representatives from Cottage Hospital today. Plan on doing it again the final Friday of March.
Yes, sir.
With another update.
We'll be there.
Excellent.
Awesome.
great.
Thanks again, Steve. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, Steve. Take care.
And a very good morning at 8:54. Temperatures warming up. Clear blue sunny skies. 35, 40 degrees, somewhere in that range before we're done today. Hey, let's take a break and check it out. Compliments of House Right Construction, located on Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. You may be thinking about building your dream house. You might be looking at a piece of land and need to know if it would be a good building site. Perhaps it's time to renovate a bathroom or to create cabinetry for your entertainment equipment. From crafting a house that nestles in the landscape to creating a cozy kitchen fit for a chef, House Right Construction has the professional know-how you need. House Right offers technical expertise and old-world craftsmanship, along with the old-fashioned business values of integrity and accountability. Whether you ask them to join you as your general contractor or want to consult with them at the earliest stages of your project, since 1985, House Right has brought a wide range of experience as a home builder in New Hampshire and Vermont. Large or small, they look at projects holistically, considering functionality and aesthetics. And they will be as dedicated to your project as you are. House Right Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at houseright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast, sunshine mixing with some clouds, not as cold. Highs in the 30s this afternoon, a light south breeze. Clearing this evening, then more clouds after midnight, lows in the 20s, upper teens in the sheltered valleys, and then tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun, breezy, milder, highs 40 to 45 falling late in the day. Sunday, a little bit of light snow near 20. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.